What's up guys, how you guys doing today? My name is BJMIT and welcome back to my channel. And in this video, I'm going to be talking to you guys about how to brand your jewelry business in 5 simple steps. So everybody has been telling you that you need to brand your jewelry business, but you don't know how to do it. Well, in this video, I'm going to be showing you how to do it without losing your mind. Or if you've been hearing that you need to brand your jewelry business, and you just don't know how to go about it because you suffer from information overload. Somebody is telling you to do this, another video is telling you to do that, and you see that someone else is doing something else that's working for them, and you just have no idea how to go about it. Well, this video is for you, and you should keep watching. So first off, before I jump into it, why should you even listen to me, or why am I even qualified to talk about this topic? Well, you should listen to me because I've been selling jewelry online since 2013. And I've built several jewelry brands in different niches. So I have a lot of experience under my belt. But also, I recently became a coach in 2019. And over the years, I've been teaching and coaching people, helping them start and grow their jewelry business from scratch. And I've worked with clients from all over the world. So I am qualified to talk about this topic. And I think you should keep watching, especially if branding your jewelry business is something that you've been struggling with. So with that being said, let's jump right into it. Oh no, before we jump into it, if you are watching any of my video for the first time, please, I would like you to subscribe to my channel and click on the bell in order to turn on the notification so that you'll be among the first people to get notified when next I put out another bomb content like this. So with that out of the way, now let's jump into it. So first off, what is branding, guys? What do you understand by branding? There is no one generally accepted definition of branding, but in my opinion, branding is all your effort in trying to create a positive perception of your business in the minds of your customers. It's as simple as that. So now there's something about branding that you need to know. Branding cannot be dictated. Like, you can't tell your audience how you want them to perceive you. However, you can influence the way that they feel about you, the way that they perceive your brand based on how you go about your general branding activities. And now some people might be like, why do I need to brand? Why can't I just post my beautiful jewelry? And if anyone is interested, they will contact me and I'll sell it to them. That leads me to tell you why branding matters. Branding matters because by branding, it is the one way that you can differentiate yourself from your competition. And remember that jewelry is a highly saturated business. It's a highly saturated industry. So branding is one way that you can actually stand out from the rest of your competitions. You don't want to be just another jeweler. You want to be different from your competition. You want to stand out from the rest of the guys. This is the reason why branding is very important. Another reason why branding is very important is because jewelry is an emotional item and people are captivated by what they see with their eyes. So if people's visual perception of your brand does not match what they expect, their expectation, you could lose that customer. So this is the reason why branding is very important, because it helps you communicate the value that the customer stands to gain from doing business with you. Then lastly, another reason why branding is very important is because people buy brands and the people behind the brands. People do not buy your jewelry because it is affordable or it is quality or it is whatever you want to use to qualify it. That's not the reason why people buy. You may have a great jewelry, but if you don't brand it right, people will not be able to understand that value. When I talk about branding with new jewelry entrepreneurs, the first thing that comes to their mind is usually logo, colors, those beautiful things. Well, I'm not saying that your logo doesn't matter, because your logo is actually the cornerstone of your brand, of your branding, I mean. But it is not everything that branding encompasses. Branding is also not your beautiful color and your sexy looking font that you keep slamming all over the place, that you keep pushing and pushing as if it is something. Well, again, I'm not saying that those things are not important, because some people might be like, what is BJ talking about? Isn't this supposed to be, I'm not, I'll clarify it anyway. So I'm not saying those things are not important, but when it comes to branding, like real branding, it is not only about the visual aspect of your business. It also has to do with the non-visual aspect of your business. So what are the non-visual aspect of your business that I'm talking about? I'm talking about your customer service. I'm talking about your social responsibility. I'm talking about all those other things that people cannot see with their eyes, because those things play a bigger role in retaining your customer for the long term. So you want to concentrate on both the visual aspect of branding and the non-visual aspect of branding. But what I see, and the mistake that a lot of people make, is that they focus too much on the visual aspect of branding and then they neglect the non-visual aspect of branding. So the misconception out of the way. Now let's jump into my simple 5 steps, because it could be more than this. It's more complicated than that. But this is just to get you started. This is to get you started. If you are someone who suffers from information overload and you just don't have the time or the energy to go through all the steps, well, these 5 steps will put you in the right direction. Step number 1, you have to define your core values. So what do I mean by that? Your core values are the attributes that are most important to your business in terms of your jewelry and in terms of the service that you provide. Basically, you want to choose 3 to 5 core values that your jewelry business is going to represent. Now, these core values are going to lay the foundation in which your brand is going to be founded upon. It is these same core values that you will use in coming up with your unique selling proposition and all those other things that communicate why people should do business with your brand. Let me give you a pro tip. These days, branding is becoming more intimate and people are becoming more conscious about where they spend their money. So you have to also look for an attribute that communicates what else you do, what else you contribute to the society aside of just selling jewelry, aside of taking people's money. What else do you stand for? Do you stand for human rights? Do you stand for women's rights? Do you stand for say no to drugs? Do you stand for green earth? Do you stand for... Look for a social responsibility that you can key into, that you think that your customers will be willing to also key into. Step number 2 is to define your target audience. And why should you define your target audience? Well, you should define your target audience because everybody is not your customer and everybody will not buy from you. Your jewelry is not for everybody. Everybody do not wear the same jewelry. I can't stress that enough. Define your target audience from the get-go. So be crystal clear on the people that you want to serve with your jewelry. Not just that, also know who your jewelry is not for. Now, we're not saying that you're not going to sell to anybody who doesn't happen to be your target audience. I'm just saying that by knowing who your target audience is, it makes branding easy for you. So you want to know them by their age, by their hobbies, by their social status, by their average income, by where they hang out online, where they shop at. You want to know them beyond just saying that, oh, I sell women's jewelry. That is not enough. You want to know a lot more. The more you know about them, the better for you. Defining target audience is something that a lot of jewelry entrepreneurs struggle with because it involves a lot of research and guesswork and all those other things. But it's one of the best things that you can do for your brand. If you know your target audience very well, you are not going to struggle in a lot of ways. So basically, know your customers and know peace. So that's step number 2. Now, step number 3. It is time to get to the interesting aspect of building a brand. But that's if you are a creative person, because if you are not a creative person, choosing your brand element can actually drive you insane. So step number 3 is to define your brand element. So what do I mean by that? So this is a step where you start talking about what kind of brand name you want to choose, what kind of color you want to choose, what kind of font you want to choose, what is going to be your tagline, and especially what kind of logo do you want to go for? Do you want to go for a 3D logo? Do you want to go for a minimalistic logo? Do you want to add an icon to your logo? Whatever you decide with. Do you want to go for a luxury looking kind of logo? Do you want to go for So basically, use whatever color that you feel like will suit your target audience to design a logo for yourself, which is the corner piece of your branding. Also, you want to decide on the mood board. Mood board is an aspect of branding that a lot of jewelry entrepreneurs don't pay attention to. Your mood board has to do with what would your page feed look like? In this age of social media, it's very important to have a mood board. What would your jewelry presentation look like? That's what mood board helps you to achieve. Now, one pro tip I'm going to give you. We know that you are the owner of the business. We know that it is your jewelry. We know that, everything belongs to you. We know that you can do whatever you want with it. But I'm going to remind you that you are not building a brand for yourself. And this is not your personal brand. So therefore, when choosing the name, color, fonts, all those things that in your brand element, make sure that you are picking a color that is going to resonate with your customers, that they are going to see themselves in. So that's out of the way. Now let's jump into step number 4. The step number 4 is to define your brand voice. Brand voice is a step in building a brand that a lot of jewelry entrepreneurs skip. And that's because they don't know. Well, if you're watching this video, you are in luck, because I'm about to tell you about an aspect of branding that I think that you should not miss. So what am I talking about? So basically, close your eyes for 5 seconds and imagine that your brand is a human being. What is your brand going to look like? What is it going to sound like? What is your brand personality going to be like? Will your brand be a jovial brand? Would it be a funny brand? Would it be a witty brand? Would it be a philosophical brand? Will it be a caring brand? Will it be an academical brand? Will it be an explorer brand? Will it be what kind of personality would your brand have if it was a human being? What kind of voice would you be using in communicating with your target audience? I have another pro tip for you. I will advise you to be the voice of your brand. Basically, since you are a solopreneur, why don't you just become the face of your business? Why don't you just become the face of your brand? Why don't you just use your voice to communicate with your audience? Just a suggestion. I would suggest that you use your voice, use slangs, use lingos, use languages that your target audience will be able to understand. Basically, your brand voice is the way you write and talk to your audience. So step number 4, out of the way. Now let's move on to step number 5. So step number 5 is to do a final audit. We know that branding is very exciting. It's a very exciting activity. All those choosing your logo, your color, your font. There's a type of excitement that it gives you. But in the midst of that excitement, there's a lot of pitfalls that are there, and there's a lot of mistakes that you can make along the way. And that's what makes this step number 5 very important. So basically, you want to go to step number 1. You want to go and review everything that you've done from there. You want to make sure that everything that you did along the way was not done to satisfy your ego. This is the mistake that a lot of people make. A lot of people build brands for themselves instead of building it for their target audience. So you want to go back, check your step number 1, 2, 3, and 4. Make sure that the way you pick everything that you choose, your name, your color, your font, your logo, your everything, your core values, your attributes, your everything, your voice, everything that you picked from step 1 to 4 is picked from the perspective of your customer, so that your customers will be able to easily connect with it. They will be able to see themselves inside of your brand. It is when customers see themselves in your brand that you be able to put your brand on their mind. Ensure that all your choices from step 1 to 4 align with your overall business goals, and that nothing was done to satisfy your ego. So here are some branding resources that can help you. So for your core values, or in coming up with your core values, I would suggest that you go to Google and type brand value list or brand attribute list. You are going to see a lot of resources that you can choose from. A lot of wonderful people have already done the job. So I don't want to waste time, doing the same thing again. So if you go on Google, I'm pretty sure you'll find a lot of help. For your target audience, if you don't know how to define your target audience, I would suggest you check out this video right here. In this video, I talked about how to actually nail your target audience. I would suggest that you check out this video. This video is going to help you. For brand elements, I would suggest you go to Pinterest. Go to Pinterest and type, brand elements or brand whatever. Anything that you're looking for that has to do with your brand element, type it on Pinterest, and I guarantee you that you'll find something interesting, or you will start to get some ideas. Also, you could go to Canva. Canva has a lot of branding stuff there. So even down to logo, if you don't want to spend money on logo, Canva got you. And then for your brand voice, what I would suggest that you do is go to Google and search for brand voice worksheet, brand voice workbook. Any of those 2 terms, you'll see a lot of resources that can help you to come up with your brand voice. So guys, jewelry is a saturated market. I get it. I understand. But there's still a lot of room for you to stand out from the crowd if you can brand right by having a distinctive brand. If you want to build a brand that people are going to fall in love with, that people are going to rave about and tell all their friends about and patronize every single time, then branding is something you don't want to take for granted, because it plays a significant role in getting your customers to be emotionally attached and connected to your brand. So now, if you are one of those people who wants to start a jewelry business, or Maybe your current jewelry business is not even doing well because you didn't actually start it with a plan. Well, I have something that can help you. All you have to do now is click the link in the caption below. It will take you to a free ebook that I wrote. This free ebook will hold your hands right now and help you to start building your jewelry business from scratch today, even if you have zero knowledge. This ebook is actually worth $39 because that's how much I wanted to sell it before, but I'm not selling it anymore and I've decided to put it out for free. So if you don't know how to start a jewelry business, if you want to start a jewelry business, all you have to do is click the link below and download my free ebook and get started on your journey. So guys, I guess we've come to the end of this video, but before you check out, guys, please subscribe to my channel and turn on the notification bell so that you can be notified whenever I put out another content. I go by the name of BJMIT, and don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Jewelry Business Coach. That is where I put out content that can help you grow your jewelry business every blessed day. So follow me on Instagram and then maybe slide in my DM. Tell me that you came through my YouTube. Once again, if you're starting your jewelry business from scratch and you lack the knowledge or you don't even know where to get started, click the link in my bio and download my free ebook that I'm talking about. It is absolutely free. So go and grab it now before I remove the link. I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a beautiful day. Peace out, y'all.